What's up? Tuesday?
Tuesday, March 11th.
Tuesday, March 11th. Brought to you by Evan Williams. Pick Central, brought to you by Evan Williams. Hey, Pick Central listeners, college basketball season is heating up, which means there are no shortage of opportunities to celebrate big wins with Evan Williams Bourbon. As we all know, Evan Williams Bourbon is game day's #1 pour. From rivalry games to championship week to all of the madness in March, nothing pairs better with watching hoops than Evan Williams Bourbon. Each pour of Evan Williams is rich, full of character, and simply done right. Next time you're rooting for a backdoor cover, take Evan Williams Bourbon along for the ride. Visit evanwilliams.com to find the bottle near you. Evan Williams Kentucky Straight Bourbon, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Bardstown, Kentucky, 43 to 45% alcohol volume. Enjoy responsibly, 21 plus. All right, some NFL news for sure. To open with local teams involved in the acquisitions.
Right, let's go.
Right word? Yeah, acquisitions.
Oh.
Yeah. Justin Fields to the Jets.
Yeah.
2 years, $30 million. Or in the neighborhood of what I'm hearing.
30 guaranteed. 30 guaranteed, 40 I think is the thing.
40 total, yeah.
Very good news for the Jets. Let's go. It's going to make the team more exciting, more fun next year. Look, the team are the Jets going to be good next year? No, I know that. But this makes them more fun to watch. I think Justin Fields has some promise. I don't know. I believe. I'm not saying. Like I said, I'm not saying it's gonna be great. I'm saying
that means you don't believe.
Well, I think it does. I think you can believe he's going to be good.
You're right. I like what you said. You were truthful there.
Yeah.
You said it's gonna be fun to watch.
Yes.
But it doesn't make your team anything different.
I don't see the Jets making the playoffs next year.
No.
But I see them being more competitive. I see Justin Fields, someone who could keep improving, and then maybe someone in 2 years we slap the franchise tag on or re-sign, and he's part of the future. I really do believe in the player.
I actually think this is actually one of the more like polarizing signings. Because I think I've seen a lot of people say they are just in love with it, and like non-Jets fans, and then seeing a lot of people like just despise. I think it's like the worst thing ever.
Mean I thought when you saw he's not polarized.
No, I'm saying like just the signing itself. Like I've seen such opposite ends of the spectrum of people like just loving it and people just absolutely hating it.
Exactly what it is. It's his fifth year.
Fourth.
He's going his
fifth year. Yes. Yep.
He is still 26.
Yeah.
Yep. He shows flashes of really good.
Yep.
He shows flashes of really bad, and also didn't get a fair shake last year. So people are interested. Which is fine. I think I always have been negative on him, but I'm not an idiot. I do see the upside. It's a whatever signing to me, but I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good. But again, we've seen him for 4 years now. It's not like we've only seen him 2 and let's figure it out. It's been 4 years.
He gets better every year. His quarterback rating gets better every year.
And he's also in a really bad franchise, but he just went to another really bad one. So it's I don't know.
You're saying like the Bears and the Jets.
Bears and the Jets. He went to the Steelers, who was a really good franchise, and that's where I actually liked him the most so far.
See, with the Bears, he did a lot of really good, it was the second half of his rookie year or second year that he was great.
Second year. And
the defense for the Bears was so bad. They had this run of second half of the season where they're scoring 30 points a game with him at quarterback, but they would just lose 42 to 35. But I think that's not. I don't know. I think he's shown a lot.
There was a lot of bad too. You have to.
I mean, no, he's made some bad plays, obviously, but I think I just think there's a lot of upside. I think for the Jets, they were much better off signing like a Justin Fields than like an old stop.
Kirk Cousins or something.
Exactly. Like I think Fields for where the Jets are right now is like a kind of like they're trying to grow like new head coach, whole new regime,
new GM.
I think this is a guy to roll the dice on for like you're not breaking the bank, and you're not.
They draft a quarterback.
I think they could stop. I think they probably will, honestly. Whether that's mid rounds,
probably yeah.
I don't think first.
I don't think it's going to come in that.
They won't do it
number 7
first.
pick.
I was going to say if you took.
I think mid rounds they will probably.
If you took him in the first round, how would Fields feel? But I don't think anybody's falling.
I don't think they will.
They don't care what Fields feels like. I think it's just because they literally just saw. Like obviously he wants to go and start too. He's made that very clear, which obviously everyone does. But I don't know. I don't think it's. I think it's a fine sign. I think it's like
Remember too, the Jets last year. It was boring to watch Aaron Rodgers get sacked over again. Before that, it was boring watching Zach Wilson get picked off or just suck. Like this, at least is like, all right, it's something fun to watch next year.
No, 100%. He can run. It's nice watching a quarterback.
He can run. He can do some things. I don't know.
I do think he's evolved with his decision making, which I think is going to help him obviously a lot.
Me too.
And also, I mean, the New York Buckeyes. You'll have a fan from afar.
All right, we'll take it.
Throw in a Garrett Wilson and Jeremy Rucker like the old days, winning Big Ten championships.
It's just that second option.
Good days.
He doesn't have a second option.
We lost a lot of players. Like Morgan Moses went to the Patriots. Obviously, Hassan Reddick's gone. Devontae Adams is gone. Like, there's a lot of guys the Jets have.
Hassan Reddick was barely ever there, to be fair.
I know, but like the Jets have.
Lazard still there?
Lazard?
I think he was seeking a trade, probably.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll be in there.
He might not be there.
I don't think he's in the plans.
He's stunk anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it's just like they just need a second. They need a second guy.
We've lost a lot of guys that
they could draft. They might draft someone in the first.
DJ Reed we lost.
Yeah.
No, we went and got a cornerback yesterday, but he's not as good. Like the Jets aren't going to be.
I like Stevens. The corner from the Ravens?
Yeah.
He's a good player.
Yeah. DJ Reed was really good.
Yeah. I wanted the Giants to get DJ Reed. I thought he was on their list.
Now, you guys don't have a quarterback.
We don't. I like the moves we've made, but
we actually have made really good. I was shitting on them. The
Safety Javon Holland to the Giants
is
years, 45
but is
million
stupid in a way. In a way,
everyone's going to bring up the
because
but they didn't have money last year.
Yeah,
they spent the money on Burns, so they didn't have it.
Yeah, I get
they
that.
They chose edge rusher.
It's how, and this guy's younger than
he's 25,
right? But McKinney's obviously
McKinney's young too.
Unbelievable. I don't know. No matter what, we don't have McKinney. We signed this guy. He's the best safety that I think.
He was on the market. He was the best safety available.
Best safety definitely in the market. Also, we signed the Saints cornerback,
who's really good.
Even very good.
I was doing all my research on him yesterday. They clearly are like have a philosophy. Like all the guys they're signing are like 25 years old. Yeah. Like, it's funny, they just signed, like, all these guys, even, like, Golson, the starting DN from Dallas. They're all just, like, mid-round 2021 draft picks who are, like, young, have been, like, very good. Like, Golson had a really good year last year. Adebo and Holland have both had, like, just really good 3-4 year careers in the NFL, and they're only 25. So, I mean, I think they're just going for upside here, potential. Both got, like, Adebo's, like, just a ball hawk. I don't know. The secondary was such a problem. They clearly need to address that. They go starting safety, starting corner. I think it was good moves. The like D-line moves I thought were solid.
Yeah, we don't need to get a quarterback yet because we have the third. Like we're gonna get either one there or
they're getting Rodgers or Wilson, and then they're gonna draft one, 100%.
Yeah, I think that's exact. I think
Kirk Cousins in the mix for you guys.
No, I don't think so.
Well, he's still technically on the Falcons roster.
Okay, they haven't.
So I think like they haven't really like he's not.
No
really
one's even talked about like trading him or releasing him or anything. But I think the Giants being pretty clear. It's what Ev just said. Those two, and it heated up. It seemed like it was like inevitable to go the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers. But today it heated up again that they had good conversations with like having Malik Neighbors and everything. But I just don't see it. Aaron Rodgers being an absolute idiot to pick the Giants over the Steelers.
Well, a thing he said, too, is he wants 2 years. But my problem is I just can't imagine the Giants or Steelers really be able to commit to that.
I think the Giants could commit to that. Steelers.
I think the Giants would be more likely to commit to it, but I just think, like, where we're at, like, I don't think there should be, like, no guaranteed money year 2.
No.
Like,
I'd be okay with him also, like, in a quarterback room with our young guy.
Sure. Like I said, like if they were able to draft Dart like 34th, which I don't know if he'll fall to there.
I would lose my.
Like I'd be fine. Like if they wanted to do that, I'd be good with that. I'd be more than fine with them drafting Dart with the second round pick. But But I like if they want to draft, if Cam Ward or Shedeur is there at 3 and they draft him, like I have no problem with that either.
Yeah, I don't. At this point, I don't care.
It's more about if they trade up, and
Yes.
then you're like,
If they
what are we
trade
doing?
up, I'll be pissed.
Yes, agree. I don't want them giving up extra assets for them, but Shedeur, I've said I really, really like him. I don't really understand outside of him just his last name being Sanders why people are like just
A lot of people are
not liking him anymore. But
going down. It's
like
crazy.
I like him more than Cam Ward. I think he has more like upside than.
100%.
I just think he's a better like he's just the processing and decision making. I think it's far better than Cam Ward. Cam Ward just is like physically bigger, like slightly more athletic.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think the Titans are like in love with Cam Ward. It sounds like.
It seems like they have no idea what they want to do.
I think they don't want to. I think they want to take Carter, but they like don't. But they want to trade back to do it. They don't want to just take.
I think they were excited about Carter. Then he's getting the surgery, and now they're like, "Oh, we're gonna be idiots for taking their number 1 pick with guy getting surgery already." And it's just they don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't want to have the number 1 pick this year. Truly,
It's not. Yeah,
Not a great year to
not a
have.
slam.
it's
There's
not
no
like
slam dunk.
it's not like last year. Like it really was Caleb Williams, which is fine, and like this year
Even
is
Daniels too was like a slam dunk.
Yeah, but like the first 3 were all everyone knew
sure.
no matter what the order was that no one was like you're an idiot. This year you can be an idiot in any sense. Of course when we have the 3rd pick, but
Well, that's the Titans. I think that's probably part of their problem too. Is like you stay and take Carter when you need a quarterback, and then there's a very good chance the quarterbacks just go 2-3 if that doesn't happen.
Where do you guys see the? Obviously, I guess it's impossible until you get a quarterback. But like Giants are going to be terrible next year, right? We all
I
agree.
don't think they're going to be. I mean, it depends on I can't tell you if I don't know who our quarterback is.
Fair.
But
I
like
think
our
the-
defense has gotten
the
a lot
defense
better.
on paper looks
The defense can keep
good.
them in games, but yeah, it's very hard.
Last year
You
we
don't
were
have-
always on. The defense was on the field 24/7, so it was like it wasn't. I don't think we're going
So
to be
you
good.
guys let's say you guys go and get Aaron Rodgers. Are you guys thinking playoffs?
Probably not.
No,
but I
right?
mean,
We're better.
No, but you're not playoffs, all right?
No, I don't. Our division's too good.
I agree.
Probably not. That's what it's hard to. It's just seeing how
Giants
bad.
aren't making the playoffs either, so I'm not throwing.
Seeing how bad things were, it's hard to envision that. But there's also that like little part of you that the NFL has so much parity. You're like, who knows? But
We also have
No, I don't see it,
Like
but-
we are in a direction that I'm okay with. It's our quarterback is what I'm very nervous about, obviously, but we have a number 1 wide receiver for the next 5 years. We know he should be a Giant for life. He should be. Our running back is good. Tracy's great.
they'll probably draft another one too. To
What
be
do you
honest,
think, Bosco? Like, what?
I right now in the moves now, like in the NFL, I don't get in the nitty gritty. Obviously, pay attention to the headlines, but I think the defense is going to keep them in games. I think the offense is like until we know what's going on, it's like kind of an abomination so far. I mean,
That's
have
what I'm
neighbors,
talking about.
but
It's
like-
not though. Where it is right now, but once we have not even a good quarterback, just like a okay
Somebody to
quarterback.
take snaps.
Who are the okay quarterbacks? You think Aaron Rodgers is okay?
I think Aaron Rodgers.
without question. I think
okay,
he's
yeah.
probably better than okay, to be honest.
You guys are crazy.
No, I don't think we are.
You guys are selling yourselves a bad bill.
I don't want. It's one of those I don't want him though because
Kind of do.
puts you in no man's land.
He's the best of what's
like
available.
that.
Like he's.
I
don't
just
love
hope
that.
he's
What about
better
Meek?
than
What does
the-
Meek think about all this? Now, Meek
love
Meek
that.
hates Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is on the Colts now. Meek, do you think the Giants are going to be good next year?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I think you
I
wouldn't
think
you
it's
agree
very-
what we just said though?
Yeah. Except for the Aaron Rodgers part, I do.
I think it's very hard to see the Giants be. I mean, look at our schedule. Like even if we had gotten Matt Stafford, like I thought they would have been good with that. But like look at our schedule. We're had to face the AFC West, NFC North. Like it's just hard to see the Giants
That's
winning
tough.
games.
That's tough.
It's a gauntlet. The schedule's an absolute gauntlet.
Like I said to Ev, I was
Which
like,
it shouldn't be like that if we were the 3rd worst team.
Well, you
we
also-
should-
But, it's just based on like
I
we
know
just
what
got
it is.
2 really good conferences. That's the issue.
and also 4 of those games are versus the
yeah, well, I mean,
Eagles
our
and
schedule.
Commanders.
our
Yeah.
schedule is
That's tough.
the fact that like the Commanders being good is a huge problem.
It's wild. The Jets are
And the
that much-
Commanders are just fucking getting better.
Way better.
They're just stacking like good players.
So I have a thought on the Commanders that I want to actually give the Texans some praise. The Texans when the Texans traded Laramie Tunsil, they got back a 2026 second round pick as opposed to the second round pick for this season.
Yeah.
The Texans are probably banking on the Commanders having a higher pick than this past year. They don't think the Commanders are going to make the NFC title game pretty much. Which I think you play the odds, you probably are going to have a better pick next year.
Sure, but I think that the value of now is stronger than of a year from now. But I think your logic is.
Should it be though?
Uh,
I always think that's kind of a fallacy.
What?
So like, Ev is right where it seems like GMs value like the now more than the future, but like Meek was saying, like, what are the odds the Commanders?
I mean, the odds. I mean,
the chances are
when you're giving them Tunsil, the odds are going up that they'll be back. You know what I mean? Like they are just getting a lot. I know obviously it's hard to get back. Like I know that you guys are right, and what are the chances? But like they did it with a worse team last year, and then their quarterbacks now have a year experience.
But the pick can only be like 3 picks worse. Like the pick can only be so much worse, where it could be a lot better.
Yeah, like what if Jaden Daniels gets hurt and all of a sudden it's a higher pick? Like,
yeah, but we can't.
We're playing in a world of what ifs. Like I know,
but you think you have to do a world of what ifs if you're trading for picks.
What if they win the Super Bowl? You know,
right? Of course, but then you only lose like 2 or 3 spots.
Yeah,
or you could gain 10 spots on the other side.
You guys okay with the 49ers being 3rd in the NFC?
No.
Yeah. Definitely.
No, I mean I like the Rams a lot better than them.
I like the Packers better.
Yeah.
I'm done with that. I'm honestly done with the Packers.
They're
this
good.
whole
They were
Packers are good. They're young too.
They're young.
Very young.
They weren't like terrible.
Well,
I don't think you should say you're done with the Packers because I think the
I'm
Packers.
done with everyone saying that the Packers are like the 49ers are better than the Packers.
But I think the Packers are still getting there.
But the receivers didn't take a step up.
I would be more. All right, do this analogy. I would have no
They
problem.
had injuries. I mean,
That's a big thing though, where it's like there are these young receivers, and then every single game there was like no one. They don't have a clear number one.
They still won 11 games, Marty. They were still good last year.
I know they're no. I'm not saying
actually
they're
kind of almost
bad.
beat the Eagles in the playoffs.
I'm not saying
Give
they're
them a
bad. I'm just saying that I'm more of like I think the 49ers are still better than them.
I don't know what to think.
I need to see the 49ers have lost so much in this offseason.
They did.
I need to that's why it's hard for me to give them like the 3rd favorite in the NFC. I don't like they've just lost so much.
And they were bad last year.
Like they lost a lot on they lost a ton on defense.
Everyone got hurt last year.
But I don't know, is McCaffrey definitely coming back?
I think he's got like
Going to be what he was?
No, I don't.
Oh, I don't think so either.
So.
It's just more Ayuk like having their number.
Like I think losing like Dre Greenlaw, like Hufanga, like a lot of they lost a ton of guys. Like Hargrave's gonna go.
I'm down on the Niners.
Like their defense, there's so much talent. I mean, actually, the crazy thing though, they say they want to sign Joey Bosa.
Oh, they're
It's
definitely
be wild to have the Bosa brothers as your.
I think that's a.
I think that'll work.
I
But
think that's exactly what's happening there.
I think that'll definitely work.
I don't know. I still believe in the 49ers. I think just he's a great coach. I think that last year was just kind of a clusterfuck of like McCaffrey getting hurt. Ayuk getting hurt was huge. Debo did nothing when he was on the field, and he was also hurt. Kittle was hurt a punch. Like those are their main pieces, you know. I think they're.
Williams was hurt a few games.
I also
Williams.
think Jawan Jennings is like legit.
That's what
I think he is.
As a
too.
number 2 is
I think he is,
insane.
too.
I think if you wanted to trade, if you were just like, I want to get rid of this Ayuk, Ayuk is like a little bit on the market from what I saw at least last week. I saw like teams are entertaining the idea. I think Jawan Jennings is good enough to be a number 1 wide receiver for the 49ers. He showed that last year. He's one of Brock Purdy's favorite targets.
But that's great. That's what I'm saying. Like that's just like and now
agree.
with Ayuk doing it, that's a huge.
I think that
their offense. I don't think lost anything.
And you have Ricky Purcell, who was drafted last year,
First
rookie.
round.
Yeah,
Got
so
shot.
He played well at the end of the year when he was like healthy again.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Like
think it's worth the promise. I like what Dukes is saying. I like Jennings too. a lot,
Jusic you got
but-
rid of,
Yep.
Patriot,
that's the biggest Patriot of all time.
right?
he's a
100%.
9-time Pro Bowler, by the way.
Makes
So
sense.
he's the only fullback.
Yeah,
in the
there's
league.
like 6 fullbacks in the league.
No.
Name 3 fullbacks that you think of in the 2000s. I think James Devlin for the Patriots, Ricard and Jusic.
I think of Henry Hynoski.
Was it Tony Richardson on the Jets for a while?
Oh,
It's just crazy. The fullback.
Fullbacks are kind of like kickers. We were having this conversation about kickers a couple months ago. Like Bucker, is he a Hall of Famer? And I was
There's
like,
way more kickers, though.
But with kickers, when you're on a perennial playoff team and you hear their name all the time, you're like, oh wow, he never fucks up, so he's a good kicker. Same with fullbacks.
Alec Ingold.
Yeah, Ingold would go.
It's just crazy that the whole position just went away. It's just like
You think it's coming back?
no. I don't think
Like
it's
you
ever
think it's
gonna
coming
come
back with the running back position?
No.
It's like what if baseball's eliminated closers? Like all 30 teams just didn't have a set closer.
I feel like they would
Like the save stat just
maybe
got
they
eliminated.
would like the setup man. They eliminated that,
Yeah,
which they kind of have.
they kind of have. Yeah.
in a way. There's not like setup man.
Depends on the team.
I still
That's
think
what
it's
I'm saying,
very,
like,
very
there's-
stupid for teams to only pitch a guy in a save situation. So, all right.
That's
No. All right, let me rephrase that.
don't let me. I'm gonna
Let me rephrase it. I'll figure it out. In the 8th inning, if you're up a run and their 2, 3, and 4 batters are coming up
higher
in a
leverage
regular season game, most of the time they'll go, yeah, we're not putting the closer in.
Right.
Well, why not? That's the harder thing.
A lot of that has to do with routine. Like
You have to be in the 9th, but to me, like you have to get through the 8th to get to the 9th.
I agree with Bosco. Bosco's
I
spinning
don't,
here.
because
They do that in the playoffs, so it shows it's the right thing to do.
No, because it'll fuck up there's your arms. They have such a routine that they have to be ready for the 9th inning. It's
You're not wrong.
It's
You're not
very
wrong.
stupid, though, right?
No,
But
Bosco's right.
no.
Well, they tried it. The Red Sox tried this.
If you can't understand this, I get what you mean. Obviously, they would do if they could, but the pitchers can't get ready for it. Like they can't. They have to know what inning they're pitching because that's why they're relievers. That's why a closer needs to know exactly when they're pitching because they start getting ready in the 4th, and then if they rush it, that's when they get hurt. That's just kind of unfortunate. You are right, yeah, of course.
He goes right. Like, so in 2003, the Red Sox tried to closer by committee, and it didn't work because guys weren't ready. So you know what happened? No 4, they went and got Keith Falk, and they won a World Series.
Yeah.
Like the problem is, unfortunately, there's a human element to it where even though Rico is absolutely right, you want your best pitcher to pitch in a high leverage situation. It just doesn't always work that way.
Well, yeah, obviously you want your guy, but then it's also you get through the 8th inning, and then you still have that 9th inning when it's.
In theory, you have weaker hitters. Rico's right. Like.
Yeah, but it just can never work.
I think it can work at the right. You have to the right mentality guys in the and the bullpen, but that's hard to
Like the Yankees right now, yeah, I think it could work because they can have Devin Williams go and then still have Weaver in the 9th where he closed already. You know what I mean? Where it's like Weaver could be ready for both. I think you'd have to have 2 closers.
Yankees gonna need a Williams to throw all 9 innings. I think.
I can't wait till baseball now, just so like when the Yankees are just doing completely fine and
They're the
They're
favorite.
always gonna do fine.
they're the favorite. What am I?
They're currently the favorite to win.
It's not like the Warriors who were like the Yankees are the favorite when they lost their ace pitcher.
And right.
What
I know. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Exactly. It's not saying they'll be fine. Like,
the Mets are the offseason champs.
they're not even the
I didn't say
favorite.
about the Mets.
Are they like
I'm
the
talking about
third?
the Orioles and Red Sox.
Are they the third favorite in their division?
Yes.
The Mets are the third in the NL East.
Yeah.
Third best odds in NL East. But I mean, it's just
That's
odds.
actually insane.
So funny.
That's actually crazy.
That's that's fine. I think the Mets.
I wouldn't say that's
I
fine.
think the Mets
She's more
are
nervous about your division than ours.
I mean, we're the underdogs. No one wants to believe in us. I mean,
So
I'll believe
sad.
us.
That's so sad.
I think the Mets are a significantly better team than the Yankees. How about that?
That's just not true. Obviously, you could say whatever you want. Doesn't mean it's
I
true.
mean, I can back it up with how I feel. Like Cole,
How can you back it up?
Stanton,
It's just
third
your-
baseman,
it's your opinion.
left
Back it
fielder
up with
can't
you.
play defense. Louis Heal's out till July. Like, there's a lot of problems that Yankees.
Okay, I could want me to start for you.
Good.
I'm starting
You don't have
pitcher.
an ace pitcher. You don't have.
Yeah,
you
Senga's-
don't have-
Senga's
Senga's pretty good.
Senga's not your ace. Senga's
off
not an
an
ace
injury.
on any
Coming
team.
he
Coming off
was
an
7th
injury.
in Cy Young voting in 2023.
Oh, 2023
What about
we're
2024?
talking. Yeah, what about
Yeah,
2024?
2 years ago.
He's hurt.
You got hurt. So
It's how
you
the
guys
tides
say when they
turn.
get hurt. You said a guy was hurt. When a guy gets hurt, it's you don't know how it's going to happen next year. You always say that.
You don't know how it's going to be.
Exactly. So your ace is coming off an injury.
Yeah, he is.
Your Clay Holmes is your number 3 pitcher.
He's looked great in spring, by the way.
Yeah,
His
spring
pit-
training
his
definitely
pitch
shows
shapes look
exactly
really
how they
good.
do in the season. That always happens.
Like he has 5 really good.
One of your
pitches.
catchers just got hurt.
True.
Luis Torrens actually outplayed Francisco Alvarez
Yeah,
last year.
there
Pretty
There you go.
quality.
See,
guy.
it's crazy. They have an excuse for
I'm not-
everything.
I'm not saying
It's
that.
Phil.
I'm not
I mean,
saying
he's
that.
a pretty solid player.
He's a backup.
He's a
too.
backup, but
I
like
mean,
he
it
has
is
to
what
fill
it
in
is.
for a month or two. Like he's
I know. It is what it is.
That's exactly what. That's a bad thing for your team.
yeah,
Losing Garrett Cole is not comparable to anything you've. It's such a bigger thing.
But we have an ace still.
You do have an ace, yes. You also have
Is
Marcus
Max
Stroman as your
Fried
4th
ace?
starter. Will Warren's your 5th.
That's
You guys have no depth.
What's yours?
I'd rather have Griffin Caning that pitched than Will Warren
God, Griffin Caning. You're gonna
Yes.
say,
over Will Warren.
Clemmer, come on, man.
Come on, man. Come on. Will
Caning?
Warren.
Well, I can't do this.
You know what Will Warren's ERA was last
I
year?
respected the conversation.
What was
till
Will Warren's
Caning.
ERA last year in the majors?
I respected
you know?
the conversation.
10.
What was Caning's?
5.
Awesome.
Wow.
That's gonna be just fine.
Wow.
It's half of
Yeah.
Will Warren.
Yeah. I respected it until Caning came in
All
there.
right.
He stinks.
You guys.
You laughed when
And we
they
have
signed him.
we have a better lineup than you do. So
At the moment, yes, you do.
not even close.
We have a lot of unknowns.
A lot of unknowns.
Well, we know.
We know
do you
Jason
know?
Dominguez can't play left
You know,
field.
we have the MVP.
We know we have Ben Rice at DH.
We have the MVP.
You're the MVP. He's gonna walk. How many times is he gonna walk? 220 times.
Great.
A lot. He's gonna get on base constantly.
On base.
Who's
We have
gonna
also
drive him in?
another MVP in the lineup.
Old
Sure
shit.
do. We have two.
Yeah, Goldschmidt won MVP.
Three.
Three. We have two
Three.
more. You didn't mention.
Old Timers Day.
And you have a fourth one on the IL.
Goldsmith looks great.
That's right.
Goldsmith looks great in spring training. So does Clay Holmes. So that's good. So that's the same thing.
Last piece of.
It's gonna be a rough year for you.
I don't know how we got to be.
Rough year.
We're gonna win the division.
It's gonna be a rough year for you.
No, it'll be a rough year for you.
No, it's gonna be a rough year for you.
Rough year.
Way rougher year for you.
I can't wait. I can't wait to rub your.
Clever saying this like it's all fact.
I
know.
Like his baseball takes aren't constantly wrong. He's coming back.
I can't wait. My
keep-
baseball takes a constantly wrong.
Constantly.
As I win more bets than you every year we do this show.
No, you play four corners. You bet. What do you bet? 6 games in 2025.
That's
You literally didn't bet for like the month of February. You play four corners.
That's not true.
And then you'll come around and be like, oh, see, look, I'm beating.
and I
you.
still have more units. You should have way more units than me. You bet so much more than me. You should be killing
No,
me.
betting's hard to do. You lose.
Oh, it's hard for you, yeah.
Well, you'd sorry when you bet
It's hard,
one,
hard
you bet
when
one day and you
hard
got
when you
2
keep
and 11.
losing when you're down a lot. It's hard. I know it's tough.
Well, like I said, I want to beat Clemmer. I just never bet again. I'll beat you.
No, you won't.
Yes, I would. On this time in your show, 100%. You're
think
up
so.
units
I don't
on
think so.
career on Pick Central.
Since I joined the show, yes, I'm destroying you.
You're no. You're positive units. You're plus units for. You like
plus, I didn't hear you.
Of course you're not.
I don't know. I think I might be.
You're certainly not.
I was above last year.
You hit a prayer parlay to go up like a half a unit for the year.
Okay.
And then the year before,
that?
you lost. The
I
year
don't know if
before.
I did.
You definitely went down units.
I don't know. I had the second best NFL record that year.
All right.
Consistently beating you, Ev.
No.
Consistently.
Like I
Yes.
said-
Yes. Consistently beating you. Yes.
2025, you're not.
Okay.
Right now, you're losing to me.
Okay.
I got
Thank you.
something.
I
I got something.
What do you got?
Go ahead.
Shut your mouth, Bosco. I got something for you. Did you see the new bracketology
I
about,
did.
About your favorite guy?
I did.
Did you guys see this yet?
Oh, last team in?
No.
No.
No, the last team in.
Oh wait, we didn't guys.
Wait. This his Midwest. Houston,
I know what you're about to
Bama,
say.
Johnny's, Wisconsin. That's Bosco's nightmare.
Yeah.
What is? Oh wow.
That's-
Oh wow.
He doesn't want Houston, he said. He's got
St. John's. I don't think St. John's is gonna be a 3 though.
It could shake out.
At least they
that way.
could, but-
yeah, right now they're probably a 3. Like if they win the Big East, they'll go up to a 2. But I just think it's hilarious. That's all I want to point out.
Yeah.
It's tough.
At this point, I now
It's two
want. I
teams that
now
Bama
want
does
that
not
game.
want to play.
I want that game
I
one
just
way or
thought
the
it
other.
was so funny when I saw it.
Give us St. John's. I want that
Clemmer,
game one way or the other.
You didn't congratulate Arkansas State getting into the tournament.
Lost, dude.
Oh, wow.
What can I say?
They got in. No, usually we'd start the show with them getting in. They got in.
Hodgson, another big one, another conference champion winner.
Yeah, he got in the tournament
bid in the
2 years in a row.
All right, he's been to the conference championship 2 games in a row. 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were congratulating.
Years in a row.
They lost
Yeah, they lost. Troy hit some shots.
by
That was-
15.
I thought
Run
they
and a
won.
half.
No, they lost by 10.
But they couldn't have been. They couldn't have had a 9-point lead with.
No.
it. So could they have?
Game of runs. It's a game of runs.
Sounds like Dukes was right about mine somewhere else for a big job.
It's a game of runs, guys.
You got to lock in when it's 5 minutes left.
It's a game of runs.
So what job's he eyeing? Let's just name a couple of schools with some openings.
I'm not.
It's not-
No, can we leave that
it's
to
not-
Curry Hicks Sage? Curry Hicks Sage.
You
on the
would've-
Twitter Spaces.
This show would have been let off today if Arkansas.
I also
State
the
won.
wardrobe would have been a little different for sure.
Oh.
Did you text him last night?
Text him today.
What'd you say?
Great run. You know what I mean? Like
Great run.
Were you
Great
talking
run?
about great run in the tournament or great run at Arkansas State?
Yeah.
And that's a question people are going to want
That's
to
a
know.
good one.
It's a good
That's a
Bosco
good
answer.
one. That was
Come
good,
on.
dude. That was a good one.
two just absolute ass.
What paper is this?
Tomorrow we'll do colors.
You go with what you have.
I'm just looking at this paper. It's
Yeah, where did you get that?
outrageous.
I mean, he wrote out the tournament
That is
brackets.
awesome.
I like
You
it.
give you
Actually,
guys.
You drew the bracket.
I actually like it.
I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna give you guys a little crystal ball. Like right now, you guys got everything's organized. It's nice. You got your views. You have buckets of where things go. Fast forward like 8 to 10 years, you're gonna be like, oh, I have a piece of paper and it looks like asinine. It's yellow. I'll take it. Okay, like it is what it is, bro. Right now, your life is organized. Your life is organized. You're gonna get to a spot down the road where it's like you just take what you can get. You don't know where anything is. You're peeing 4 times in the middle of the night. Wake up, you don't know what day it is.
Starting the
Like,
4 Ps.
just take what you get.
0 P's.
Clemens doing a 0. I do 0 Ps.
0. And I'm the old guy in this room.
I don't know. I guess I gotta go talk to somebody. It's 3 or 4 nights.
3 or 4 is ridiculous. One is understandable. Rico.
Maybe
3 or 4
one.
is-
But I'm also housing beverages.
Before bed?
Yeah, like all day. I'm just always. I think I have a condition where I'm always
Jeez.
thirsty.
That's more than conditioning if you're drinking all day.
Yeah, beverages.
Beverages all day.
No, 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 not.
Now you sound like a Johnny's fan.
No, I'm not Johnny's fan. Not Johnny's fan. No, I very rarely drink it.
Before we didn't talk
Save
about.
the only one I have is Evan Williams.
Before we go
As a
to
treat.
college basketball, we didn't. Sam Darnold. We didn't talk about going
Right.
to the Seahawks. Daniel Jones is going to start on the Colts.
Probably, he's a lot of
You don't pay someone.
Yeah, he's made $100 million in his career. Now? Is that what you were saying?
Now it's a
I thought he already had, to be honest.
no 85.
But he made 80 with the Giants.
85.
Well, he made 80 with the Giants the last 2 years, but he made his rookie contract had to been.
He made
I guess you're right.
85.
He probably must have been just under. I guess.
Made 85, and now
Good investment.
he's made 15 guaranteed with the Colts. 14 guaranteed with the Colts.
Good.
You don't pay.
Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones.
You don't pay a
Both going to
quarterback,
get hurt by week 4.
but you don't. No, he doesn't really get hurt.
Daniel Jones?
What?
I wish.
Wait.
Come on, all right. I know I was.
Guy's always hurt.
I tried.
In the same year, he tore his knee and had a severe neck injury in one season.
Like Anthony Richardson always get hurt too. though.
You don't pay a guy 17 mil, up to 17, 14 guaranteed to be the backup.
I don't know.
You don't.
Well, Richardson, I think, will get first crack.
Yeah.
But Richardson always gets hurt too.
Who's
So
paying 14 mil for a backup?
I mean, the Dolphins,
many.
the Dolphins just gave Zach Wilson, what, like 8 or 9?
6, yeah.
6.
Well, they. Well,
Yeah, but that's
What
what.
is he? So 6 to 14?
Because he gets 6 to 14 is huge difference.
It is.
like for example, like the Rams were like Garoppolo, it's like 4, but like it basically if Stafford got hurt and he played a lot, it'd be like 11.
That's what I'm saying, but that's all incentive.
4 is the guaranteed for Garoppolo?
Yeah, it's like 4.5.
Yeah, like
that.
guaranteed 14 mil.
Why did they give Daniel so much money?
Because I think that's what I'm saying.
No, but it makes
starting.
sense. He's good. He's like a.
Is it?
But he's not. He's not like the. He's not the starter, but he's also not the backup. It's kind of like you basically know that both of them are probably going to start at least like 5, 6.
I think that shows you that they want him to start. Where like Darnold last year got 10, 1 for 10.
Right.
And I think it was like probably 8 guaranteed or around there. Like he's getting 14 guaranteed. That shows to me that it's like I think you're like it's basically going to be you.
I'd rather have Garoppolo than Daniel Jones.
No.
I also think they were
Garoppolo's
out.
bad.
He was. With the Raiders, he was a.
Garoppolo looked horrible. I know Daniel Jones looked bad too, but like Garoppolo looked like really, really bad.
I think
Colts
I would
line's
imagine
pretty
I would
good.
imagine the Colts probably bucked up a little bit to make sure he didn't go back to the Vikings.
Yeah.
And I'd imagine for Jones, he probably saw a lot more starting opportunity with the Colts.
1,000%.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me that.
The Vikings, like
How
I'd
much
rather
fucking-
I'm giving McCarthy like every shot before I.
Oh
pull him
yeah,
to
but
go.
they're fucking putting the most pressure on this guy.
Well, no, they're gonna get somebody.
14 wins. You got 14 wins last year with Darnold. You then let him go. You then let Daniel Jones go, which is fine. But then it's just JJ McCarthy right now, and it's like I don't even know who the backup is.
I think Mullins, who I'm not.
No, Mullins went to the Jaguars.
Is that who he signed with? All right, so they're going to sign somebody. I just think you draft. Listen. I've obviously been a McCarthy hater, but all that, like, you drafted him 10th overall. You're trading.
You have to go with him.
Also, I will say this about the Vikings. I love the offseason they've had.
Yeah.
Getting fucking Fries, Kelly for guard and center spots, really, really good. Their offensive, they already had good tackles. Their offensive line, I think, is very strong now.
The Colts line just got worse.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Good point. But and on the D line, they definitely need defensive help. They got Allen and Hargrave. It sounds like they're gonna get, who I think are two like studs in the inside. Like I love what they've done. They obviously already have. They have Jefferson. They have all the, like Hawkinson is gonna be fully healthy this year. I think McCarthy, like, this is a year clearly, like, hand him the keys and find out who he is.
Oh, I like that. It's just like a ton of coming off an injury.
For sure. At least it was early, though.
Yeah.
So, like, he's going to be good week
Should be
one.
ready.
I would say, I do like O'Connell a lot. And I'm sure they'll sign somebody, but I do think they needed to find out what McCarthy is.
Yeah. No,
already lost him for a
you
year.
draft him for 10.
Got to find out who he is. And this is, if he's not going to work with this team, he's probably not going to work. Give him 2 years. And see what happens.
It makes
I
sense
don't
for
blame him.
also Daniel Jones going the Colts. Like,
Yeah.
why would you're gonna play on the Colts. You're not gonna
100%.
play on the Vikings.
I think it's one of the
100%.
best I think it's one of the best spots he could have gone to,
I agree.
Yeah, to play for sure.
and also fit.
Yeah, I don't think
also
it's a bad fit.
with Steichen.
Yeah.
I think that when we talked about, and again, Daniel Jones is almost to the point where he's unfixable, I think.
No.
But we talked about how he could have the Ryan Tannehill, maybe factor just a new location, new start, new offense, new personnel. I think Steichen could figure him out. I think
It's
he's
also
one of the guys.
I do like Steichen.
It's not like he's going to Antonio Pierce's Raiders.
Sure.
He's also not going to the team is even with Anthony Richardson being bad and their team was always in the mix.
I actually don't
They're always
Clemmer,
not.
honestly, I thought Clemmer made a great point that they just lost 2 of their really good offensive linemen.
Yeah, no.
That's a problem for
That's
sure.
a huge problem.
But
also
I don't hate the receiving core.
I kind of said he was it's almost like going from the Giants to the Giants. You have a really good running back.
Yeah, kind of.
You have a wide receiver that's not.
They have Pittman and Down, so I think are decent.
Yeah,
like
but it's
solid
just
players,
they
but-
kind of went.
Uniform has blue and white.
Yeah,
yeah. He really did.
It
That's
wasn't
funny.
much, and the defense is pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. They're just the Colts are a fine football team.
They're not bad. They're not
Just
good.
a fine team.
Yeah.
They're middle of the road. They're not bad.
Oh, they're the most middle of the road team you'll find.
Yeah.
They'll always be ooh, maybe the Colts can make the playoffs, and then they fall off at the end.
The problem is they just swung and missed massively on Richardson,
massive.
and that's their problem.
I also think that's where I'm saying this contract for him. I think it's we're done with this guy. They also sat him last year.
Dude, this is Richardson's
He got
last
tired
year.
too.
When he got tired,
That was tough.
I think
Oh,
I
man.
think when he got tired, no joke, they're like, that's it. We're done with this guy.
Stuff.
They're the definition of frisky and fun in Big Cat's power rankings thing.
Yeah.
The Colts,
Yeah.
in the past 4 years, you could put them frisky and fun.
Pat's got a backup yesterday. A friend of the show, Josh Dobbs, right?
Yeah.
So that means Milton's getting traded.
Yes.
Well, I wonder where he'd go. Would he go to you guys?
It wouldn't be the most
hope
shocking
not.
thing. I just hope they wouldn't give up an asset.
Yeah, I hope
I just think it's not. I hope
I
not.
think the Patriots think they get something back for him.
That's what they're trying
Yeah,
to do.
because that last game he looked good.
I'll actually say,
And preseason, he looked good.
Dukes. Actually, this I actually really like what the Pats are doing on defense.
Me too.
I like
they're
what they're
doing
doing.
some
Get
good.
like what they're
anybody
doing.
that
You guys
ever played
spent
for
some
Mike
money.
Vrabel.
They just need to, did they get a wide receiver yet?
No.
I've changed it up.
That's a tough one.
They're getting Travis Hunter now, I think.
Oh,
I think that's going to be their draft pick.
that could happen.
I think he'll be wide receiver and maybe play a little bit of nickel.
I actually think the Bills
got Matt
getting
Collins.
Palmer was really good.
Who?
We got
Palmer.
Matt Collins.
Oh yeah. They said the Giants. It was basically they were going to sign Slayton or him, Palmer, and they got this basically the same contract. I don't know what the guarantees are, but
The Bills
36.
Bills getting him was really good. I could also see Cooper Kupp going there, but I also could see now.
Bills would make sense for him. I could see that.
Yeah.
Interesting. I was kind of thinking about where Cup's going to go, especially if he's a free agent, which is, I think he's going to be.
It almost seems like they're now I'm like, do they sign him back? Just as a.
I think the ship's gone. I think it's sailed, and they have Puka and Adams now.
I think
So I think they're not going to keep. They're not going
And
to.
they signed Tutu Atwell back too.
That's right. So I think they're pretty
You ever realize there's one team that you're like, what are they doing? The Cowboys.
They have no money. That's their problem.
It's like
They have
what?
No money.
Like they just are the same. Like what are they doing?
I don't know.
It's always funny to me. Like I was going to tweet a bunch about the Giants yesterday, free agency, all that, and you'll get the random Cowboys fans who chirp you, and I'm like, you guys are in legit. We suck. We know that we suck. You're in hell. You're just in
Hell.
living. You have all your money's tied up to guys that you won't win with. That's a fact. And now, really, who your best player is Parsons. You have to pay him a ton of money, which they're the one. Him and Lamb are the ones. I'm like, I understand you paying those guys. You had to pay Dak, and he's not going to get it done. What the fuck are they going to do? They're just
second
They just
team.
run back the same
I
thing
feel
over
bad
and over
for
again.
A second.
They made the
team.
shittiest coaching hire ever, who they didn't really want, and they kind of had to. I bet at the end of it, they wish they just kept McCarthy. It was so shitty.
They just hire again?
What's his name? Schottenheimer?
Oh yeah. Oof.
And a second team has emerged in the division that might already be better than them.
No, I don't think there's a mite about it.
Definitely better.
I'm just okay.
I got you.
Consistently. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
The division's gotten a lot harder.
The Washington has to finish ahead of them again before you can say.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's all.
I
I'm
like their
saying.
chances.
Yeah.
Roster-wise, they're
the
better.
best team in the league.
But I agree with you, but roster right now.
Yeah, they're better.
still
No, I agree with that too.
And honestly, they're losing decent players. I actually think Golson, who the Giants has picked up with their starting DN, was a solid young player. They've lost a couple of guys. They just gave a D tackle $80 million. They have no money left.
Also,
They're gonna have to give Parsons everything else.
I think since you see Daniel Jones just go, I think we'll see Jameis go soon. I think everyone was which is weird waiting for Daniel Jones to go, and then I think once Rodgers goes, it's gonna be Russell and Jameis, right?
Well, so they're saying this morning, all the reports from like Pulitzer and all these like big time NFL guys was that Rodgers to Vikings is like not a thing. It's either like it's gonna be it's gonna be
to Steelers.
No, I'm saying like it's like the Vikings were like thrown in the mix there.
Oh no,
point.
yeah.
Like it's not like it's
Steelers or Giants.
It's Giants or Steelers. Period.
Yeah.
And then Wilson's pretty much the same. Like it's just like Giants or Steelers.
And I wondered because now I'm also hearing the Browns might not take a quarterback.
They traded for Pickett.
I know.
Kenny Pickett.
Schefter said it yesterday.
I could see it if they just don't love any of them, I guess. But
you guys should just get James and just have fun.
I'd take Jameis 1,000 over 1,000 over Wilson.
How about over Rodgers?
It's the tough part. Scott Rodgers is a better player.
He is.
Period. It's whether you're
traumatized. It's okay.
Yeah,
you guys are gonna have the same weird face I do.
No.
Yeah.
Only way I could see Rodgers going to the Giants is that he doesn't feel like moving.
I think people are. I think. I don't. It's weird because I'm like shocked that if he had the choice, like if everything was even, I don't see how he wouldn't want to go to the Steelers.
He'd be idiotic to not.
Unless the Giants are just offering him more money. That's the only thing I like.
Metcalf go there and then see that defense and.
I mean, the team. You're going to like a good organization, good coach. Like everything is better. Literally everything's better.
Yeah.
You just, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised about it. Like I said, unless the Giants are just offering more money or they're willing to commit to 2 years or whatever it is. Because I could see my biggest fear is like this all not happening, and then Shane just throwing the like missile to go up to number 1, just hitting the nuke button of like trying to keep his job essentially.
Yeah.
And draft Cam Ward and be like, hopefully he's really good and that keeps them around. I don't know. It's scary. It's scary as hell.
We're in a bad position.
I just hate Shane being like this kind of lame duck who's like fighting for his life, but he's like obviously a guy like that's gonna be willing to like throw the franchise away to save his own ass,
of course,
and put us in even a worse spot. I don't know. It's just it all sucks. Rodgers seemed to suck the least, but it's like I don't think that gets us like anywhere serious.
Not a great spot. All right, conference championship week. Which bracket jumps out to you guys in terms of most compelling? You want to go through in terms of different futures, take what you would take a stab on as things go. I have the Big East first, updated. Or what do you have first? You have one up, Dukes? Looking at spreadsheets? What are you looking at?
I'm doing my own research.
All right, fair enough. All right, the Big East, you got St. John's obviously in the 1 hole. Play the winner of Butler Providence. Marquette and Xavier in the 4-5 spots. DePaul and Georgetown, which I don't think anybody's going to bet on. We'll play Creighton. And then you have Seton Hall Villanova playing UConn. So of that, UConn's at oh shit, I just fucking X'd out of it.
All right,
St. John's plus 155, Creighton plus 370, UConn plus 400, Marquette plus 550, Xavier at 850.
There you go. Marquette.
Yeah. Oh, Marquette. See, that's the one. If you're taking, I think you take a little stab on both sides of the bracket in terms of what you're doing. I like UConn at 4-1, and I would go opposite you. I'd take Xavier at the 8.5 to 1.
Yeah.
So to speak, because they're playing for desperation. They lost to St. John's in overtime. Not saying that they, that again, that's not being a St. John's hater. That's who they match up with.
What's UConn's odds?
4-1, down from 425.
That's not a bad one either.
I just think Hurley in that building, he gets the most out of his guys.
I just think Marquette has been. I like Marquette 5-1.
Yeah, I think you got to take some stabs with.
I think the thing with Xavier.
They're playing for their lives.
What's the number on Xavier?
8.5.
Sean Miller, great coach. They're kind of right on the bubble right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you're judging them based off the last month or two of play, they're a tournament team.
They have been playing really well.
They just got healthy. They lost one of their best players in conference play. I'm looking at their Bartorovic. Since February 1st, they're 8-1, 24th in the country.
I've seen Tate talking about it a little bit, which I'd be all for this because it would mean Ohio State was in the tournament, saying that they're setting up for Ohio State Xavier playing game in Dayton, which would be incredible.
That'd be awesome.
Would be awesome. I'd be all for it.
You want to add to it too?
Please.
Dayton's also
let's go.
the next 4 out. And if they are losing the A10 championship, we have 2 quad 2 games. There is a real possibility that we're one of the last 4 teams in as well. So
maybe Ohio State, Dayton,
there could be
or
Ohio State, Dayton, some combination.
Me and Duke's might go to war.
Yeah.
Dayton's first 4 out right now.
Some people have them. Yeah, we're now in 2 brackets on Bracket Matrix.
I'm so nervous.
We're coming for that ass.
We blew the Indiana game. I'm so pissed.
Yeah.
That was it. We were going to make the tournament. Now we're sweating our nuts off.
Yeah, the bubbles.
I mean, if we lose,
nobody wants to be in it.
If we lose Illinois in the first round, we're probably cooked.
It's more just like, especially when your team, like, Ohio
Iowa.
State's,
Iowa. Not
Ohio State's not going to win a national championship.
No.
But it's like when you're a fan of someone, it's like, just please get in. So
I want to dance. That's what I'm tweeting. We want to dance.
I just want to be included. I want to like not just care about. I want to care about a game instead of my gambling things. Which it's like when one time the Duke didn't make it, I was like, this is the worst thing ever.
We haven't made the tournament a couple of years. It's annoying.
It's brutal.
Just want to be in it.
Yeah, that's what I say. Tie yourself to one team and then live and die with that team as it goes through the tournament.
You know what?
If Ohio State doesn't get in, I think
let's go. You gotta die. You gotta die with your guys a little more. Like Arkansas State I saw nothing last night.
Yeah, you throw them away.
You throw them away like it's
didn't
nothing.
You went there, didn't you?
That's your guys.
We went
back-to-back years.
What's
your best friend?
You're the only person in the world to go Arkansas State twice.
Unfortunately, this year they went as 8-point favorites and lost. Unfortunately,
throw your guys away too fast.
No, I don't. I was saying I'm live tweeting the game. We need a rally.
We need more sadness from you on the timeline.
I'm upset.
Like when Arkansas State loses the Sun Belt Championship, like we need some grief from you.
Yeah, I want a little grief, not move on to High Point.
And when they have like an epic collapse in the final 5 minutes, like we need a little more. Like they had it right. They had it in their hands.
Yeah, I know they did.
How many teams are you gonna be rooting for in the?
We'll get a full.
Yeah, we'll have a list.
There'll be
I'd say like next Monday when we know the field, we'll have a list.
8.
It's like more than that.
No, it's
like 14
I was
to
gonna
18.
say about 16. Yeah.
Oh, there's
14, 18.
It's a pyramid. There is one guy at the top,
correct.
and then that's how it
scheme.
goes down.
Yeah, all right.
Who would you say is all right? So Bama's clearly the one. Who's like the next tier of pyramids?
Would have been Washington State.
Would have been Washington.
I'm sorry. It would have been Washington, and it would have been Arkansas State. I apologize. I mixed the two together. Tight with the Illinois guys.
No.
Tight with the UConn guys.
What's anyone you got a sweatsuit from?
You're not tight with the tight.
Illinois guys? Yeah.
That's your
This
second
is the
team?
first time I'm hearing about this.
I'm just going through.
Do you have Illinois merch?
Yeah. Full orange sweatsuit. Creighton merch.
You have Creighton. I've seen it.
Butler, but they're not going to make it.
Kansas State, but you dropped
You
them like a
dropped
bad
them
habit.
so fast.
Yes,
No, that's not true. I went to their game at Jamaica.
You dropped them so fast.
It's not true. I went to their game.
You're at under 500.
Bet them today. I like them today.
2 years ago, you were dancing with them in the locker room, bringing in the boombox. Then they missed the tournament, and you're like, well, I don't want to play with you anymore.
That's not true. Speaking of the Big 12,
Go lunch in a
Do you
Jewish
think if they made the
community.
tournament last year and this year, you'd actually be more of a Kansas State guy than a Alabama guy?
no.
I think there's an argument to be made.
He also,
never been
you
on
do
Tank's
think
boat.
about it. Alabama, you got on the Alabama train when they got good.
Yeah, well, but I got him early. We interviewed him in 20 what? One?
When was the infamous? We're like the Giants. We have an famous boat day.
2021. I think
That was
we
after
interviewed
they
him.
made the Elite Eight. Or Sweet 16. When they
No, we
lost
interviewed
to-
him during the season. In the bubble. Yeah, we interviewed him that season.
Okay. I thought you were talking about the boat.
2021 in the bubble.
Yeah, I thought you meant on the boat.
So
The
I
boat
got
was
him.
after.
I got him early. I got him in that season.
Early would have been Buffalo.
Early, you would have been, yeah.
Early would have been Buffalo.
Fair. I knew who he was at Buffalo, but I wasn't in. You're right. Big 12.
Tell me this is not obvious who to take.
Bro,
I think there's two.
it's two. I would.
there's two.
So, Houston minus 105, Texas Tech plus 425 in the 1 and 2 holes. Arizona at
You think those are the two?
No,
I'm just going through. Arizona at 8.5, BYU at 11. That's the one I would take. They match up with Iowa State. I would take BYU, and I would also take Kansas in the 6th spot at plus 1,300.
I think Kansas or Texas Tech is my two.
I like Texas
Obviously,
Tech.
they play each other.
But,
But
yeah.
I'm saying
so
like
Kansas. All right, listen. UCF and Utah, both friends of the program, played in the celebrity game, and Josh Eilert, he got screwed over with at the interim job. He's not going to get it. They already hired somebody. They're playing with two zombie coaches. There's no way Kansas lose that playing game. So they're then in the quarters. They just beat Arizona on Senior Day. Granted, it's a neutral site.
I think they're better than Arizona.
It's that tournament is going to travel well for Kansas. So then you're sitting there in the semis holding 13-1. Like, I'll take my chances.
Yeah, that's why.
I also love BYU getting hot at 11. Like,
I think Texas Tech is better, but I still like. That's why I
Yeah.
like. It's stupid. I understand it's stupid to take two teams that play each other, but like, if they get to that, you're guaranteeing one in the championship.
I Texas Tech I like a lot just because of their draw, but I also I still think Iowa State, where like their draw is solid.
Well, the kid Gilbert's like day to day.
Iowa State has
even
cooled
they,
off a lot.
I don't even
right?
mind.
They have.
But even like,
I mean, they were talking about being top 10 team in the country, and now they're fifth in the Big 12. So it's like,
I like their draw for like. I still think they're a really good team for the number they are. What are they? 600. I think that's it. Like because I think they're gonna beat Cincy or Oklahoma State. I think they win that. And I think they beat BYU.
Anybody take a stab on? I mean, Baylor at 50.
The
league is tough. If Baylor can beat Texas Tech, they're sitting there as well, 50-1.
You guys got fucked. I didn't even realize that. You have a tough road.
Which one? Bama? Yeah, we'll get to that. SEC's next.
I still like Houston just to win it straight up.
Yeah, I think that's obviously like
because their draw also I like.
Their draw is easy,
right? Like you got BYU. I think they like. You can't worry about BYU. The one thing I will say is interesting. If anyone remembers last year's tournament in the Big 12 tournament, Houston played Iowa State and got mollywopped by them, like lost by 20 plus.
Yeah,
I still think Iowa State's good.
It is interesting. Keyshawn Gilbert, and I also just like there's some injury concerns right now for Iowa State in general. Like banged up. Everyone's banged up at this point in the season, but Iowa State's clearly not the same team they were in the beginning.
Yeah. SEC, obviously Auburn at the top. So the SEC is outlandish. You just pull up the bracket because the play-in games are South Carolina, who's terrible, Arkansas playing for their lives, Texas and Vandy flirting around the bubble, LSU, Mississippi State. Mississippi State was ranked at one point. They're 10th in the SEC.
Is Arkansas playing for their lives?
Not as much.
I think as long as they don't lose to South Carolina, I think they'll probably be in, right? I mean,
yeah, pretty much.
They just beat Mississippi State.
Oklahoma, Georgia is a crazy game.
That's a good game. I like that game.
They're both playing for it. And then they go Ole Miss. You got Auburn plus 150, Tennessee plus 600, Florida 270, Bama at 425. If you're not going to take, I think it's hard for Bama to beat Kentucky beat a team 3 times, and that game will be a track meet. Obviously, I'm going to take Bama at 425. It's just it's a good line. But if you're not doing that,
I think they have a brutal like not even
Florida's tough. But I mean, I'm just saying
like
as a homer.
Florida, then it's gonna then probably Auburn. Like that is not because like Auburn is gonna get Ole Miss probably and Tennessee.
No, you say that. I like Texas A&M at 25-1. They lost by 8 to Tennessee. They shot like shit from threes. Buzz has finished in the semi, final, and final the last 3 years.
I'd rather obviously they have the 1 seed for a reason, but
and they did beat Auburn. I think A&M at 25-1 is live here.
I like it. I also like another
I'm fine with Texas A&M there.
Missouri
at 25-1.
Because they get matched up against Mississippi State or LSU, which I think they have. I think they match up nicely offensively against Florida. And then you can just get into another shootout with they're all playing like offensively talented teams like Kentucky, Bama, Florida. In my opinion, Florida's obviously great at defense as well. But I think Missouri can sneak their way to the championship. And if you think Texas A&M is going to go on a run, I think that the value's there.
The ACC is not even really worth wasting time. It's just like minus 320. It's like who do you think? The one thing I will say,
Clemson
is Louisville. Louisville played Duke once, pretty close game. It was December 8th. I think.
Oh, it wasn't close.
Wasn't it like 10, 12?
No, they
like semi. I mean, it wasn't the 30 it wasn't the 30 that they've beat everybody by.
It was at Louisville. I remember watching because I was like, oh man, Louisville's not good again.
11.
Okay, so it's not the 30. It was December 8th, and Louisville's playing in the top 30 in offensive and defensive efficiency. Kelsey in that spot, like it just depends. Who do you think could beat Duke? You cannot bet on Duke minus 320.
Honestly, it's crazy. I think you're an idiot to bet on anything here.
All right.
No, I'm not. Obviously,
I see that.
It's Louisville or Clemson you're taking. You're not taking anyone else. Like what? You're gonna take Pitt? Like
no, there's no miracles happening in this one.
It's just like they're 10 times better than every team. Clemson is the only team to beat them. I don't think they're gonna beat them twice, especially a neutral court. That was a away game. I just think there's no reason. This is not even being biased. I think it's just no reason to bet.
No, the line says what's the line on Clemson?
7 was the last I looked.
That's crazy.
I just don't even know if that's enough to even like.
No.
Yeah, it's a little higher. Should be higher.
But it's also like, what can you put the second best team at? Like, you can't put them at like 15-1. You know what I mean?
All right. No, I agree. And then
what's Louisville? Is it 11?
550 is what I looked at.
Oh, so Louisville's
better odds than Clemson.
Yeah. What's their draw just for?
So Virginia Tech, Cal winner. Then it goes to Stanford.
Okay.
Oh, shout out to Kyle Smith. Great job.
Reynald's a good player.
Yeah, great job finishing 7th in the ACC. His next tournament appearance will double his all-time tournament appearances. So great job for Kyle Smith. Keep cashing those checks.
I mean, better than Denny
Why
Sprinkle.
don't you like Kyle Smith?
What? Sprinkle's been to 4.
No,
Hold on.
They're with Washington.
Sprinkle's been to 3. Sprinkle's been to 3.
But he's with these little mid majors.
Why do you not like Kyle Smith?
He told the story. It was something at a.
We don't like Kyle Smith.
It was something you met him at some
You have
place
to
and
say it.
he
No, I didn't meet him.
Or
You have to say it.
he's somebody he knows said he's an asshole.
He crossed my people.
That's what it was. I knew
And
something
they
happened
said,
with this
and
guy.
he said that you're an asshole.
No, I've never met Kyle Smith.
No, but so how did he crossed? He crossed one of your
crossed one of
guys.
his
My
guys.
guys, yeah.
Because I remember it was last year. I remember I brought up Kyle Smith organically, just being like, "Oh, this team looks really good. Like they weren't expected to be good." And Bosco was like, "No, like fuck Kyle Smith." I'm like,
We don't like Kyle Smith.
fuck. And that was how it. I think it might have been one where it's just a me and Bosco show, and I just happened to like bring up like just saying like
More
threw it out
people
there
would
and
be
he was
like,
no.
More people would just be like, "Who's Kyle Smith?"
That's what I'm saying. I was
like,
I was expecting it to be like, oh yeah, like they look good, like Washington
Yeah.
State looks good, like, and then next topic, and Bosco was like, no, like fuck Kyle Smith.
Yeah, fuck Kyle Smith.
Can I show you guys something really cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite stories in college basketball.
Yes.
So Kyle Smith, he has a son with autism, and
Oh man.
he took the job because of all the resources that Stanford could give his 13-year-old son.
Really
Bob
beautiful.
with autism.
Seems like a good guy.
great guy.
All right.
To have that opportunity for
Just I don't know something.
It's a beautiful
a
story.
family.
Nice. It seems like a good guy, Bosco.
Dudes, I'm glad you brought that up for
Yeah.
us to remind us. Like he took a job for his son.
Family is important.
Because I remember Bosco saying,
No,
why
but-
would he do this lateral move from
Yeah.
Washington State to Stanford
And again,
in the conference?
yeah.
I guess now
You look after
he's
yourself.
ACC.
Yeah, sorry, that's tough.
Did you forget about that a little bit?
He definitely did.
Tough.
I forgot about it.
I did too.
I dig my heels in so deep. Like I forgot about the Jason Kelsey thing too. Like he honored the train. You dig these heels in. There's no digging them out.
Did you see Jason Kelsey? Like I know everyone's seen Jason Kelsey, but like go to like his town court and his hometown and like ask like go in front of a committee asking for like a fence or something for his house.
In like Philly or like where he's from? Like where he lives
Philly.
now, you're
Yeah,
saying?
where he lives now.
Did the fence get approved?
It's got to wait. Doesn't happen right away. I don't think. I don't know. I've never been to town.
Local government moves slow.
In a suburb of Philadelphia.
Yeah. The Big Ten is nuts.
Yeah.
15 teams in.
It's crazy how down I am on the Big Ten.
I'm starting to get back in on Michigan State. I think now, with all the data I have, they would be my horse of the team that could go.
Like Illinois, right? Illinois was like, I think they're going to be really good. They've fallen off a ton. Michigan looks like
Michigan
ass
looks bad,
now.
really bad.
Michigan State is like, my favorite.
Michigan State looks good.
But Illinois
good.
Illinois still in the top 15 and top 30 in metrics.
Illinois,
I'll tell you who's
Five
winning.
guys who score in double
I already
digits.
got who's
I know,
winning the
but
Big Ten.
Illinois is weird because they lost to Duke by 100, lost to Rutgers, but they got a lot of talent.
No, of course they do. They're up top for a reason at one point.
Yeah,
But
you're gonna take Rutgers?
No.
Oh.
I gotta tell you who's winning. UCLA.
650.
That's who I'm
I
taking.
like that as well. So
I love UCLA.
I think it's hard to be the 1 seed and win all the way through in the Big Ten. I like a stab on Oregon at 28-1. Dana Altman's unbelievable in conference tournaments.
That's not because they beat Alabama, right?
No, you look at what he's done.
He has
He's
been good in
great in
March.
conference.
Oh, I know.
tournaments.
I don't hate.
How
the
about
pick.
that stat? So
hate the pick.
it's skewed because you played a couple of conference games in the Pac-12, which they obviously won. But Oregon had the most wins in March as of the last 4 or 5 years, whatever that graphic was. I thought I shared it in the chat. It is what it is. But like,
No, he's great in March.
unbelievable. Oregon is the most wins in the last 4 or 5 years in March.
10.
What?
Wasn't it 10? Like 2014, I want to say.
10 years?
Something like that.
Something. If you could find the graphic,
But I also think that another stab is I still think Maryland.
No, Maryland's my play.
And
350. I tweeted that. I already played it.
Do you
Maryland
think Illinois?
350.
But do you think Illinois, that stretch where they lost to Duke and they lost I think 2 or 3 before that, like, and they were like sick, banged
Yeah,
up.
they were
like,
unhealthy.
are they now getting healthy and back to their mojo or no?
Yeah, I think they're pretty dangerous.
Well, that's why I think they have the most like upside right now because they're so talented and they've had like all their issues.
What'd you get, Duke?
Wisconsin's still really good too.
What did I get Duke at? I'll tell you. I'll look at it.
Let me know.
In the Mountain West, I like Colorado State plus 350. Playing great as of late.
Colorado State?
I think we're due for a bid stealer. I think Colorado State gets that. They split with Utah State in the game that they had. The game they won. They crushed Utah State. Their non-conference is terrible. I feel like they have to get to the final to even be considered for the at-large. I like Colorado State plus the 350.
Plus 1,000. I got you.
Wow.
Good number.
You know what they are now?
What's that?
Plus 340. That's a
Good number. Very
10 to
good.
1's an insane number on
one's
you.
a great
Very,
number.
very good number.
10 to 1's a great
You'll
number.
thank me one day.
Ev,
get home.
Who do you like in the
I
Big
win,
Ten?
I'll think.
In the Big Ten, I like Illinois is the long shot. What's Michigan's just for the chalk? Like what's Michigan
12.
State? They're
No. Michigan State is 250. Michigan is 12.
Michigan.
No, I don't
Michigan's
think
playing
so.
really
Yeah,
bad.
even with the double bye.
Like Michigan State, I think is the best team, most complete team. They have the best coach. I don't hate Duke saying the Maryland thing because they're so talented. Wisconsin, I think, is more the capable making a run. What's Wisconsin's number? Like 600-700?
650.
I don't like Wisconsin.
I don't hate them at that number because I just think that they have a little more athleticism, I think, than people think. Like, how do you say the game's Tony or how do you say the J in it? But
Yeah, I know.
he's really good. They got some guys.
It's exciting though. It's exciting because like
Michigan, I actually don't hate Marty's play at UCLA.
I love UCLA.
Big Ten's the conference where there's like 7 teams that could win. That wouldn't shock me at all.
And like we are there's Cincinnati, Oklahoma State's on right now. Like we're in the thick
I'm on Cincy.
We're in the thick of like we got games from 12 to 12 from the next 3-4 days.
Yeah, and it's the championship games popping up. Like last night was Furman Wofford was unbelievable.
Dude,
He had a combined 33?
Dude, the SoCon is like it literally feels like every year they just have like the best conference championship.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I saw the tweet last night. 6 different champions in the last 6 years for the SoCon. Is that correct?
I don't know.
Well, they had Furman had the crazy because Furman
It
almost
seems like it's Wofford and Furman all the time.
Chattanooga's always good. I feel like.
True. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like you could be right.
So I saw because it was funny. I was thinking as I'm watching I was on Wofford and the over, and they're having a classic, and the game with Furman the other day was a classic, and it was funny because I'm thinking of obviously that Chattanooga Furman game a couple of years ago that was insane.
Nuts.
And I saw Reegs tweeted just like it feels like every game because I even said that with the semifinal game. I was like, how is the SoCon always so good? And I guess he looked up and it was literally in the last I forget how many years. It was basically like 70-80% since like the turn of the century or something. It was like a single digit game.
Really?
So this was my question.
They also, I don't like playing them at neutral sites, but their neutral site packs a ton of people too.
They do.
Great environment last night. So
Do you guys? Reeves was talking about because he was very angry about Duke. Do you think this is the most likable Duke team there's been? Because listen, when Duke has lost 3 games and everyone's like, "Fuck this team," usually, I haven't heard a thing this year.
You want to know what it is? They're like a product of their own dominance. They have no there's never I guess they had a couple early the Kansas game whatever it was early in the year that Flag kind of had a couple bad plays, but they've been so dominant they haven't had any moments because they just win by 30. Like people are turning the fucking game off with 10 minutes left.
It's true. It's just
I think
funny,
people aren't even because games are so broad, someone's watching.
Like, I'm trying to remind people it's still Duke. Like fuck them, and I'm like usually I'm with you. Like I like when people hate us, and then it's like people kind of like the way we play, and it's weird.
I feel like a lot of people.
Flag needs to kick someone in the nuts.
But he's the thing is, he's also now just he's good at passing. He's good at doing everything. Where it's not just you tuned in for Zion because you're I got to see what this fucking guy does. Now you're tuning in. It's he makes some good plays.
Good clean basketball.
Yeah.
I feel like people got behind the Zion team though.
Well, but they had so many close calls.
Yeah, they should have beat Taco Fall.
Everyone I was going to say the UCF game. That's everyone remembers that game.
Yeah.
I would have had a taco on my ass if that happened.
All right, tonight off a 2-game losing streak last night. I'm gonna take Kansas State minus the 6.5. I like Utah minus the 2.5 in that absolute fucking zombie fest, and I like Montana minus the 6.5. I faded Idaho last night. They won the game fucking going away. Absolute blowout. I don't know if they could do that 2 nights in a row. I'll take Montana minus the 6.5. Clemmer, what do you got tonight?
I'm on the Pelicans +7. They're at home against the Clippers. And the Pelicans, they have Zion. And he's coming off for a game where he just had a rest day, so hopefully he'll be ready to go.
Big F.
So I tweeted it before, but I got Cincy going on now. Cincy minus 6. I got Pitt minus 3.5 in the over 135.5. TCU money line. Cal Virginia Tech over 139.5. Arizona State Kansas State over 142.5. Cuse plus 3.5. Youngstown State plus 3.5, and Utah money line tonight.
Marty.
I might add more, but that's what
one of the biggest plays I'll be playing. Utah Tech.
Oh, I did see
They're
this.
6-25.
And they're favored by 3.
They're -5.5.
Wow, it's up.
They've lost their last 13 games.
What's the other team? What's their record?
12-18.
The game's at Utah
Who they
Tech
playing?
too, right?
It's Utah Tech for Southern Utah.
Okay.
A little Utah battle.
In-state battle, a little recruiting battle there between two Goliaths.
That line makes absolutely.
They haven't. It's not like they're 6-25 and they won their last 4. They've lost their last 13 games in a row.
Cool.
I love Utah Tech tonight.
Oh, can we? I'm sorry to.
Delaware.
No, that's
You
literally. what I just-
congratulate Delaware now.
That's what we need to talk about. I wanted to bring that up before the show ended.
Such a pussy.
What a crazy fucking run. That's why March is the best.
Yes.
A team that, what did they lost? 11 of the last 12 or something like that, but coming into
Yes.
the tournament. A 12 seed in the conference tournament, and they just dominate. Townsend was the 1 seed. They beat them wire to wire.
They're gonna win.
What a run for them.
Who are they playing tonight?
Shout out Delaware. Delaware
They're
won. They won it.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
Oh, I'm
Playing
sorry.
UNC Wilmington.
Yes, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry.
Who's also
I'm sorry, you're right.
26-7.
Didn't
the other two.
UNC Wilmington beat them by 30? Or was that Towson who beat them by 30? One of the two, they lost by 30.
Wilmington.
But yeah, Ingles
UNC Wilmington just beat Delaware
by 30.
on Saturday, March 1st, 88-58.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm going.
They've just
Delaware.
ran through the conference tournament.
Martin Inglesby, Notre Dame product, Mike Breaktree.
But yeah, I'm going Utah Tech. I'm going TCU -2.5. I'm going Sam Houston +2.5 against UTEP, and then I'm going Delaware +8.5 tonight. And I like Kansas State as well. I'm going Syracuse +3.5, and then Gonzaga -3.5. Fuck St. Mary's.
Dude,
They fucked me
That was a
last
bad
night.
one.
that fucked me
So I have
so badly.
Oh, you had it?
I had team total here. This team and the spread. So
I had the spread.
with 7:40 left, they were up 28,
Yep.
and they needed, I think it was 9 points for their team total over. 7.5 minutes.
Yep.
They literally just played 4 corners the rest of the game.
Scumbag.
And at the 4-minute timeout, they went straight walk-ons the last 4 minutes, and they didn't even let the walk-ons play. They had the walk-ons playing 4 corners with the ball. It was just watching. It was literally I wanted to rip my eyeballs out watching it. They should have hit it easily both ways.
Brutal.
Dukes.
Utah -1.5. Gonzaga -3.5. What was the other one? Pitt -3.5. TCU -2.5.
Phil.
Not here.
No. All right. All right. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Championship week is rolling through. We'll have a bracket on Sunday, which sounds crazy.
Oh, amazing.
Amazing. But we'll be back tomorrow. Yak's up next. We'll catch you.